What's up, everyone? Happy Monday, happy YouTube live day. So before I begin, I want to talk about what we did over the weekend. So over the weekend in Saturday, we had a London meetup and a New York City meetup at the same time. So MICs around the world, guys. You know, when we first started, we wanted to throw events around the world. We wanted to unite traders around the world. And, when we started, there was a couple people trying to imitate us. And as you can see, they didn't really, follow through with it. But this weekend, we had an awesome, awesome, awesome meetup in London. We had an awesome, awesome, awesome meetup in New York. New York City was actually a really great time. We took over the entire bar, buying shots for everyone, having a great time, talking. Some people are a little bit shy, some people are a little bit more outgoing. So it was the perfect combination of everyone. And when we have these large meetups like Utah, where there's 200 people showing up, it's a lot different than having like an intimate group of like 30 people showing up, which was the New York City meetup. And, some meetups are members only, some meetups are all around everyone. London was everyone, New York was members only. So having a meetup of just members only was really, really fun. We got to drink together, we got to hang out together, we had a really, really great time. And I think Bao later today is going to post those photos on Instagram. So go to instagram.com/myinvestingclub to see the photos from the meetup. It was great to meet Nancy for the first time. She's awesome, awesome, awesome. Her special thing is she loves to take shots with a straw. So she sips on the shots with a little bit of a straw. It's awesome. But shout out to Nancy and shout out to Eric for setting up the meetup in New York. I was only able to make it to the first bar after 4 shots, 3 beers. I was donezo. So I think Eric kept continuing the party with James. So that was a really great time, guys. So MICs all around the world. We throw meetups around the world. We like to meet traders around the world. And it doesn't matter if you're shy. It doesn't matter if you're outgoing. We're all passionate about the same thing, which is trading and making a better living for ourselves from trading. So we all have something in common to talk about. So that was the awesome meetup that we had. Now let's talk about the market, right? I'm recording this at the end of October 2022, and the market's been really, really choppy lately. So, if you've been living under a rock or if you're watching this video late, inflation is the big thing that's kind of destroying our market cycle right now. And inflation is normal. A normal inflation is about 2 to 3% every single year. That's a very average, very normal. That's expected. But this year we've had, about an 8.5, 9% inflation, right? So almost 3 times the average amount of inflation. And that could be from all the stimulus that was printed. It's from all the supply chain issues. It's from a bunch of different reasons. And, that's led to the Federal Reserve, the people that control the money, to tighten up this cycle by raising interest rates and pretty much collapsing everything, right? And, in the long-term, long scheme of things, this is the right way to do it. Long-term, this is a very healthy thing. But in the short term, we're seeing stock prices down, 30 to 80%. Some of the biggest, some of the baddest names out there. So, it's a very tough market. A lot of people, obviously, were short bias traders, and a lot of people say, oh my God, you guys must be banking in this market. Everything's going straight down. Just hit the short button and everything's going straight down. But the truth is, as a short bias trader, we like to make money when we are in a raging bull market. And the reason why is this. In a bull market, a stock would extend from $5 to $55. And there's about $50 worth of range or worth of room to make money. But in a bear market, in a cycle when everything is just going down, that range is contracted. So instead of stocks going from 5 to 50, they're going from 5 to 6, okay? And because that range is contracted to only $1, whereas before it was like $50 you could make, it's a lot more difficult to make money. Now, that doesn't mean it's impossible to make money. If you look at our website, My Investing Club, you can see my broker statements on there, and I'm up a little bit over $1.4, $1.5 million in a bear market. So there's still money to be made. It's not 3 million, 4 million like last year, but there's still money to be made. Now, the reason why I explain this and the reason why I say this is because our job as traders in this current market cycle of high interest rates, high inflation, high headaches, is really not to make money. And I know that it sounds kind of counterintuitive. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but in this market cycle, our job is to pretty much stay alive. Our job is to stay alive and wait for our ideal scenarios and our ideal setups and our ideal stocks to come to us. Now, stock trading is the only business out there where you could show up, you could sit at your desk for 10 hours, and you could lose money. Now, the market that we had in 2020 and 2021 was a market that was unseen. It was like the internet bubble, it was the tech bubble, it was the crypto bubble, it was the bubble of all bubbles, right? And a lot of people made a lot of money in those markets. And what we have to remember in the stock market is maybe that year, like 2020, 2021, those 2 years are supposed to last you the next 2, 3 years, right? Of not making any income. So for example, if 1 year, let's say you make $1 million a year, just random, you make $1 million a year, but 1 year you made $3 million, 3 times the average thing, then you shouldn't really be upset that this year is more of a break even year or this year is more of a slow year, because that year was abnormally good, which should help cover the abnormally bad year that we're having. And now, as professional traders, as hedge fund level traders that we have to remember that, we have to trade when there's an optimal market cycle, when there is optimal opportunities. And this market has been very, 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 very tough. Bonds have been down the lowest in the last 100 years. Stocks have been down the lowest in the last 20 years. The Federal Reserve is raising interest rates at the highest rate in the last 50 years. And Chinese stocks are now getting banned and they're in a massive bear market. Everything is crazy right now, right? Even as I'm recording this, guys, everything is insanely, insanely crazy. So what can you do as a trader to make money in this market cycle? What can you do to make sure that you don't lose your ass in this market cycle? You know what I'm saying? So today was a losing day for me. I lost about $300, $400 today. And that's not really too bad. Making a couple $1,000s a day, losing 400, but not too bad. But on losing days, I like to reflect and I like to kind of talk about what I could do good, what I did, what I could have done better, and what to do to improve for next time. So what I've been doing, and everyone has their own method to their madness. Everyone has everything that they want to kind of focus on themselves. But my method to my madness in this market cycle is I have been sizing down. I've been sizing down because I haven't really seen much opportunity. And yeah, sure, if you don't really see any opportunity, you don't really have to trade. But for me, I'm not good enough to just sit there and not trade all the time. Sometimes I have to get that fix out of my system. And that fix out of my system is as simple as placing a trade that's a significantly less size. So on a stock like MOTS today, I was using very small size. It didn't really feel right. I didn't really feel good about it. So I took a small loss. It's not really the end of the world. But what I've been seeing a lot of traders doing in this market cycle, what I highly suggest that everyone, avoid in this market cycle, is I've been seeing a lot of traders size up a little bit more than usual to account for the lack of range. So because the range is less, right? Because the range is less, they're trying to use more size to take advantage of that less range. But the problem is, if you're wrong, it's going to take a very long time to make that money back. So this market cycle is really tough. We are, again, this is being recorded in October. We are entering November. So November is historically the craziest month for small cap runners. And November is historically the craziest month for small cap runners because of something called the Turkey Crack Week. We've made videos on this. We call it the zombie month, but November is historically the zombie month. And that's because November time, Thanksgiving time, a lot of people, they leave, they travel, they go on vacation. The human volume is shrunk and the robots tend to take control. They make everything go crazy so that these hedge funds and institutions could kind of cook their books into the end of the year. So November is historically a very, very crazy time in the stock market. And, this year may be a little bit different because the action is so muted. But my thought process is, guys, it's been a really tough year. If you're staying alive this year, you're doing well. If you're break even this year, you're doing well. If you're making money this year, you're doing extremely well. But I don't want people to get discouraged. I don't want people to get upset that they're not really making money in this market cycle, because 95% of traders are going to get wiped out in this cycle. 95% of traders that you were friends with or that you knew or whatever are not going to be around in the next couple months, because what was working the last couple of years is no longer working anymore. They refuse to adapt, they refuse to change, they refuse to whatever. So what's happening in this market cycle, and I think it's probably going to keep happening for at least another 6 to 8 months, is, the market is weeding out all the traders that aren't going to last the test of time. I've been trading for about 8.5 years. Bal's been trading for 20 years. And the number one thing that I think that you guys need to understand to be a trader long term is your ability to adapt. You must be a very adaptable person to make it in the trading game long term. As you can see, what worked in 2020 did not work in 2021, is not working in 2022. So if you don't have the ability or the insight to adapt, then you're probably not going to make it as a trader. And that's why trading is so tough doing it alone. You know, if you're trying to trade alone and all of a sudden things aren't working, you're just going to keep trying to go back to what was working because that's how you made your money in the first place. But in the stock market, the market is ever changing. The cycles are ever changing. The opportunities are ever changing. And if you're not able to adapt to that, you're going to lose money. So in my opinion, a lot of these traders that have been losing money this year have been refusing to adapt. They've been sizing larger than usual. They've been trading the same setups they've been trading before. They've been trying to stick around all day long because they think that's the way to make money, but the process isn't different. We're still doing the same thing, trading until 10:30 a.m. zombie times, and some days there's great opportunities. Some days there's not great opportunity, but that doesn't mean that you step out of your comfort zone or you do something that you are not used to or comfortable with just to help compensate. So right now, guys, right now, while it's slow, I know it sounds cheesy, I know it sounds corny, but this is the best time to learn. This is the best time to refine your skills. This is the best time to improve all of your flaws as a trader so that when the market does pick up again, because it will pick up again, right? This is the stock market, guys. This is the biggest wealth generator in the entire world is a stock market. When the entire world was shut down in the pandemic, one thing was open, and that was the stock market. And right now, the action's tough, the action's difficult, but I do promise that things are going to get better, things are going to get easier, but the question is, will you be able to last the test of time? Will you be able to last the storm, that is the stock market crashing right now, and to be able to make money when the cycle continues? If we're in a bull market for 10 years and we're in a bear market for 2 years, that means that the next cycle is going to be another 10 years of up, right? So your job as a trader, your job as a professional trader, I'm not talking about the guys that are buying YouTube alerts, the text message alerts, the emailers. Your job as a professional trader, I consider myself a hedge fund style trader, is just to stay alive in these markets. Break even is okay. A win is great, but don't be discouraged if you're just breaking even nonstop. Because the reality is, even if this entire year is a break-even year, even if this entire year is a small loss year, the next couple of years will be exponential return years because the market cycle will be getting easier. It'll be much better to make money. And that's kind of where the opportunity is, guys. So a couple things in addition to that as well is, as you guys have been seeing on the YouTube channel, I posted my $145,000 live trade, which did really well. I've been posting the day trading vlogs that have been doing really well. And basically the way I'm doing it is every Thursday, I'm gonna alternate between a day trading vlog and a live trading video. So the first $145,000 live trading video was available free for everyone. Now going forward, it's gonna be available for lifetime members. And because last Thursday I released the day trading vlog, this Thursday is gonna be a live trading video. So this Thursday for lifetime members, I have another live trading video coming out. I'm not really sure which one I'm gonna post yet. I have about 18, 17 recorded. Of those 17, 18 I have recorded, I have about 5 that are fully edited. So I'm just gonna kind of slowly, every other week release it. So this week is gonna be another live trading video on Thursday for lifetime members. And then the Thursday after is gonna be another episode of the day trading vlog. And I have about 3 or 4 weeks of that already ready as well. So I've been spending a lot of time trying to get these videos edited. Been spending a lot of time trying to voice over these videos. But aside from that, guys, don't be discouraged in this market cycle. It's been the hardest market cycle in a very, very long time. It's been very, very tough to make money. If I wasn't an 8.5-year veteran, I know that I'd be struggling and not really making as much money. But hey, I'm showing up every day. I'm sticking to the process. And some days I make money, some days I don't. But my job right now is just to stay alive. So I'm reminding you guys, in the worst market cycle, in the toughest market cycle, in the worst bear market in the last 20 years, if we're able to survive this, we will be able to consistently make money for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So it's discouraging, it's annoying, it's tough, But if you are not using this time to double down on your flaws as a trader, if you're not using this time to educate yourself as a trader, if you're not using this time to improve as a trader, then you're just wasting time. You're just wasting time. So my advice in the slow market cycle is don't get emotional, don't get upset, don't be frustrated. Instead, use this slow action as an opportunity to watch the videos, to learn, and to improve. And in the meantime, if you're a lifetime member, start enjoying all these live trading videos coming. There's wins and there's losses, so you're gonna be seeing everything. So hopefully this video helps you guys. Hopefully you guys learned a lot from this video. I'm gonna kind of go back to the room and help everyone else that has questions. So thanks everyone, and I will see you guys back next week.